Josh, why don't we do the intro for Joe Gacy right now? Because honestly, I feel like I've been neglecting you doing this intro. You've been preparing this all week, this friggin' thing. So why don't you just do the damn intro? Just do it right now, on the spot. There's no, we're live right now with Big Josh. Just go. Just do it.
Okay. Hello, everybody.
No,
Welcome.
don't do it. No, no.
No.
I don't want the gimmick voice, Josh. I want Big Josh. I want Big Josh. Just be Big Josh. You don't need to be a cartoon character. Be Big Josh. Introduce Joe Gacy on this show.
Joe Gacy. Okay. Tonight, join Root TV and Big Josh as we welcome CCW champion Joe Gacy.
All right, there you go. That was more like it. Very good. Very good. Joe, how the hell are you tonight?
Good, man. How you guys doing?
Awesome, awesome. Doing good. Thanks for coming on the show.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. It's a pleasure and an honor, of course, as always. And Joe, you still living in the area, right? You still in South Jersey, or where are you living right now?
Yeah, I'm a little closer to Philadelphia now, but still in the area.
Okay, good deal, good deal. Yeah, man, it's been a while. I mean, a lot has happened in your career over the past 10 years. I mean, big, unbelievable. I mean, I mean, talking about today's of like 10 years. What was we have a few mutual friends, Alex Gomez, of course, and your brother Phil, and way back to the days of that Franklinville backyard fed you guys were in. Remember that?
Yep. Oh, I'll never forget it, of course.
Yeah, of course. And then I believe what happened, the ring broke, I think, and then that shut it down or some shit, right?
I mean, it broke a couple times, but we had like a final show. Like we knew it was going to be the end, but literally we had the final show.
Yeah.
It was over. We all get in the ring to take a picture.
That's what it was. Yeah.
And then right before the picture took, the ring broke.
Is there a video of that somewhere?
Yes, I actually have the clip of that.
Wow, that's one for the archives. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, that's classic. And then Joe recently, for those of you watching at home who don't know, not only is he the CZW champ right now, he's been working CZW for a long time, but recently he's hooked up with Evolve. Can you tell us, Joe, what's your how's it been working for Evolve for the past? How long has it been?
It's
working?
been a little, maybe about a year and a half now.
About a year and a half.
Actually, crazy. The time's going kind of quick.
Yeah, right. Shit. I mean, I guess Gabe still runs the show there. It's his fed,
pretty
right?
Much, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Evolve's been great. I mean, for years now, it's a company that I was working on trying to, get noticed by and get in for.
Yeah.
Couple of years, so finally
definitely.
getting in and getting on the show was a big deal to me, and now being one of the contracted guys there is huge. And it's been a great
man,
experience.
that's like it's I don't want to say it's priceless, but the fact that it's a we can't say territory. It's a company that
affiliation
gets. We'll just say this: oftentimes talent gets cherry picked by someone named Paul. We won't go any further than that, so we'll see what happens there. Big Josh, did you have any questions for Joe Gacy, the CZW champion, before we get more into this show? Josh, you look like you're speechless.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm quite intimidated. I mean, the nose ring, of course. I am so intimidated.
So you're intimidated by a piece. You're intimidated. Wait a minute. First of all, tell Joe where you're from right now. Where are you broadcasting from?
Well, I'm all the way in Dollywood country of Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Solid.
So they don't have nose rings in Pigeon Forge, Josh.
Well, unless a couple tourists walk in or some shit, but no.
So Josh, I've been messaging Joe for like a week and a half to try to get him on this show, and now you want him to take his nose ring out.
No,
because you're afraid you're scared of his scared of his nose ring?
I am not scared of his nose ring. I'm intimidated. That's two different things.
Is it because I wore a sleeveless shirt?
No, well maybe it's the muscles. I don't know. I don't freaking know. But okay, here's my question.
All right, go ahead.
What is more of the challenging style have you done in the wrestling business, either for like Evolve or ZZW? Was it hardcore, technical? What's more like a challenging style you've done?
I mean, I would say before, like years ago, I did dabble in the death matches a little bit. I guess at the time, learning how those kind of went was challenging to me because you had to figure out a way to not only give the crowd like, you know, the things they want to see, but you also have to kind of tell that story or whatever story you're trying to tell in that match. So it's kind of like an elevated level of a professional wrestling match. So at the beginning of that, it was a little bit of a challenge. Also, the position I was in, I don't know if anyone really took me serious at the time. So
yeah,
it was a difficult time in that sense. But other than that, I mean, I like to think I can actually work almost with any style, or at least work any style. So in that time, I would say the deathmatch stuff was probably the most difficult.
Yeah, because I would think that is there like a certain technique that you have to learn how to bleed or something?
Josh.
No.
We're would you want me, I'll tell you off the air how they do. Would you stop?
Oh, hush.
Just stop. All right.
Okay,
Anyway. Ask Joe who his I'll feed you a question, Josh. How's this?
Go ahead.
Ask Joe who his wrestling role model was growing up and why it was Steven Regal. Go.
Okay. Why was your role model growing up Steven Regal?
What's this? Sorry, are we still here? Sorry, my phone.
Yeah,
you got it. All right, yeah.
Okay.
Well, so it definitely was Steven Regal, or I mean, it really still is. It started.
Yeah, remember you told me that years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, Mick Foley was really the guy who really got me into wanting to be a pro wrestler, and then I also fell in love with Steven Regal basically because of style.
Yep.
I loved the way he did things. He was like kind of no nonsense, but also did a lot of nonsense, if that makes any sense.
Oh, yeah.
It like his like he came from like the British style like background like over in England, and I've like grown to fall in love with that style because it's very like smash mouth, I guess is the best way to say it. To me, it's a very believable style. They do a lot of things in those matches that to me seem very realistic, and that's kind of why I fell in love with that style. And a lot of the stuff I do today I have modeled kind of after William Regal. Kind of, you know, was obsessed with him for a while. So
yeah, a lot of his even growing up watching him, he was very believable in everything he did, everything he did, the way he sold. He was just really just watch him as a kid. He was just you just thought what you were watching was, you know, it was just so good looking. Everything he did in there. If I could recommend a match for you guys watching at home, I would say look up. It might be on YouTube when he worked with Benoit. I don't know if it was on TV. It might have been at a charity show or something.
Was it the Brian Pillman Memorial?
That's
show?
What it was. Yeah. That's what it was.
That is one of my favorite matches of all time. It is on YouTube.
Yeah, it may even be on. I mean, I don't think they even sell the DVD anymore, but I think it might be on his DVD. So yeah, definitely check that out.
That's a good one.
For sure. Joe, I got a question before you get away from wrestling and move away, because I saw the Texas Chainsaw Massacre poster in the background, and
there's all kinds of stuff behind me.
Oh no! You got the. All right, I got a. You see that, Josh? You see that trick or treat gimmick in the background of Joe?
That's it.
I have a tattoo of that by my boy Andrew Lee at A1 Tattoo. He did that tattoo on my arm last year, Josh. You remember that?
Yep, I remember that.
Yep, you remember that. Yep. All right. Anyway, what I was saying was, so Joe, when did you actually know? You know, you had the backyard fed, the ring broke. At what point did you realize you wanted to pursue it further than just what everybody else was doing? Now we know LJ, and even your brother, at one point trained Nathan Avery, but when did you know that you wanted to get serious about it? At what point was it?
So the moment I knew I wanted to get serious about it was honestly the moment before I even started doing backyard wrestling. When I realized that it was something that I could actually do, that's
Right.
when I wanted to do it. But being at a young age, I didn't know the channels and how to do it. So in my mind, the way to do it was, let me go out back and do it myself.
Right.
So it kind of, started in that sense. And our friend group grew bigger because we were all wrestling fans. So everyone joined. Most of the people that joined did it for fun or did it just to hang out with everybody because it was a group activity, realistically.
Right. Yeah.
And at that time, like, there was a point in time, a good 2 years, where as a group we took it kind of like very serious as you can take a backyard wrestling company.
Right.
Anyway.
At that level. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So I like just graduated high school and I didn't realize how to get into the actual wrestling business. I ended up hooking up with some people that work for CZW, Combat Zone Wrestling. And then they told us, hey, we have a school, and they invited our whole backyard group to come train. So at that point, I'm like, oh, okay, this is how you do it then.
Yeah.
So I kind of just, went with that and joined that school and trained that way. And unfortunately, not everyone stayed because, a lot of them, again, were doing it for fun. So there was a little handful of us that took it serious and continued with it. Probably like 4 or 5 of us at the time.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Unbelievable. And snowballed from there, I guess, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Another thing that Joe likes to incorporate, I've noticed over the years, into his look, sometimes into his entrances, is horror, an influence of horror and horror movies. Joe's a big horror movie guy. I know you just as much as I am. Josh, I know you get a little scared, but Joe and I are big.
Oh, shut up. I like horror too.
You just told me the nose ring's intimidating. What are you gonna do when you watch Freddy?
I've seen Freddy a bunch of times, and it was like when I was a kid, it scared the shit out of me. Now you look at it as an adult, it's like seriously, like what the hell? It's not so scary.
All right, good. But anyway, Joe, what is your like sweet spot in terms of horror? Like, did you like a certain genre? I mean, like era? Do you like old 70s? Do you like 80s?
I like
more or everything.
I like everything. Nowadays, a lot of the newer horror is not my favorite. Like every now and then I'll find a movie that I really like.
Right.
But it has to be something very different because there's so many movies that are just the same thing over and over again nowadays. I mean, I grew up on the, I guess, 80s genre.
Right.
So that's kind of what I fell in love with first. And then as I grew older, I started branching out and watching some older stuff, like a lot of 1970s horror stuff. And then, up until the more recent stuff. I mean, as far as genre, it started as like, I love a good slasher movie.
Yeah, for sure.
And then from there, I don't know, I kind of started really enjoying a lot of psychological thriller horror type stuff. I guess that's more of the recent stuff I like. But if I see like a newer slasher movie, not that there's a lot of them anymore,
right.
If it's something new and fresh and different, then I'll probably like it. Or I'll even respect a director or writer trying something different, even if like a lot of people don't like it. If it's a different idea than what's already been done, I'll at least like be like, oh, okay, I could see what they're going for.
Yeah, no, I hear you. One on Netflix right now. I think I even brought this up a couple episodes ago, or maybe it was last episode. Terrifier, which is a pretty good throwback.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, definitely check that out.
Okay.
If you're into killer slasher clowns, Terrifier. Art the Clown is actually they're filming. Actually, they're still filming part 2. Josh, what are you doing? Okay. Oh, there we go. All right, Robert Englund. I didn't know you were. I was having a conversation. Yeah, there we go. What is that? Tell us what that is.
A hand signed autographed Robert Englund picture.
Tell us again how you got that.
I wrote an angry letter originally, and it was like, "Oh, why do you sign other fans' pictures?"
So again, and I brought this up before. You wrote an angry letter to Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, and then I got a letter back from one of his people saying that, "Oh, this is a hand signed drawing we sent to the fans for free that can't make it to the Comic Cons and all that."
Joe,
what's up?
We can agree. Original Texas Chainsaw Massacre is awesome. the 70,
That's actually my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, it was that 71, 72, whatever it was. I can't remember what year. 75 maybe, I think it was.
I think it was 75.
Yeah. So like I'm wondering, I mean, do you think there's going to be a good they're going to make another one, but I feel like the last couple have been I don't know. I mean,
I personally, the Texas Chainsaw, I haven't really liked anything after the original.
Yeah.
The original second one was fun, but
I would say 2 and 86 with Chop Top was a different tone, but it was I agree.
I just don't like when a horror movie dives too deep into the backstory of something. Like the first one, also because it's older and like nothing about the family, it makes it creepier to me. I get that maybe today's generation doesn't really see it the same way because I've actually had this conversation with like younger people. Younger people, that sounds awful. Today's youth. And they tell me that like they can't watch it because it doesn't really hold their attention, and it's like,
oh my god,
wow.
I enjoy more of the slow burn like moments that like when you finally get that moment, it's like, oh, it's terrifying. Like when you first see Leatherface in the first one, when he
the build up, and
I
have I'm trying to think how old my cousin is. Tyler, he's about 25, 26. He just texted me about a couple weeks ago. Saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the one we're talking about, for the first time. He absolutely loved it.
Good.
And he wasn't expecting it. I think when you go into something with your expectations kind of low or off base, you kind of get pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. I mean, I don't think. Are you a Rob Zombie movie fan or anti Rob Zombie movie fan?
I won't say I'm anti Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
But there are a good amount of his movies I don't like. But I do like I like House of a Thousand Corpses. I like Devil's Rejects.
Yeah.
There's a couple of the newer ones I actually haven't seen, but I didn't like his Halloween.
I would say check out.
The second one.
I would say check out 31. That was the original story.
That's the one I haven't seen. My wife actually told me about that one.
Yeah, I checked that one out. That's it's not. I wouldn't say it's the best, but in terms of a something different, I think you might dig it. Not many people know this also, but I'm a little bit older than Joe. I don't know, 3 or 4 years or so. I don't even know if I graduated before him. I did graduate, I think, before, but we went to the same high school. If you guys watching at home, GACY, and that's pretty crazy. I mean, you had I'm trying to think of like a memorable teacher that you probably had. Did you have Mr. Rafferty, Mr. Raff?
I knew him, but I didn't have him.
Spout out a name of a teacher that's the first GACY teacher to come to your head. Now I'll tell you something about it.
I'll say Mr. Dubois because I actually stayed with him. Me and him actually still talk on Facebook from time to time.
Yeah, Dubois. He was creative writing, and he does like some TV. I think he did a TV too, some TV stuff, production stuff. But Big Josh, what high school did you go to?
I went to Graham High School in Bluefield, Virginia.
Bluefield? Where is that?
Yeah, it's called the redneck capital of Virginia, southeast Virginia, southwest Virginia.
All right, give us some random memories as I drink my beverage here. Give us some random memories of Bluefield.
Oh, well, see, I went to a lot of wrestling growing up in the late 80s, 90s. Went to a WCW party in 1992.
You went to a Nitro party?
No,
92.
No.
92.
92.
Right,
this was the cheesy WCW gimmicky shit with like heavy metal Van Hammer.
Oh, here you go, Van Hammer. Yeah, sure.
And I went to the third grade class. Was at an autograph session. Came up, met Van Hammer. He slapped my hand so hard that he busted a nerve in my right hand.
I see it. I see the nerve he busted. I can see it right there. Joe, do you see it?
Let me see close. Let me see it. Let me see your whole hand.
I'll go on it.
Wrong camera. There you go. See that?
I think I do.
Yeah. There you go.
I mean, he slapped it so hard I couldn't write for about 3 weeks after that.
Oh my God. Was he the one that recently got in trouble for like hitting a kid?
No, he was I think got arrested for DUI.
Somebody got in trouble.
Yeesh.
Some old WCW guy got in trouble for like hitting some 5-year-old or
I
something.
think I did hear that. It may have been one.
Yeah.
It may have been one of those. That early '90s era WCW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one more quick story. When they were sending the invitations off in school, I was coming out of the little boys' room. I slipped on the floor. I hurt my back so bad. I was moaning, and all of a sudden, 2 people came up to me, helped me up. It was Eric Bischoff and Missy Hyatt.
Wait, where?
In
Yeah,
your
where?
high school?
No, when I was in the 3rd grade.
At school.
Yeah, they were dropping off.
So
the
Eric
invitations.
Bischoff was subbing. He was a substitute teacher at
No,
your school.
Bischoff
Missy Hyatt was the nurse.
Bischoff was there dropping off the invites because he was running WCW at the time.
Joe, if we went to Delsey, would we enjoy Missy Hyatt being the nurse?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, but they helped me up. It's like, you okay, little man? You okay, little man?
All right. Enough of the story. Joe's the guest. I don't want to hear this anymore, Josh.
Sorry.
All right.
Sorry.
So a cool thing that happened last year to Joe, for those of you watching at home, like we brought up earlier, he was working for Evolve. One of their shows got simulcast, broadcast on the WWE network. Friggin' awesome, man. I'm proud of you that you were, and to think, I mean, first of all, let me make it clear, you're going to go way further and beyond that, but just to think, like, if you're not going to stop now, but if you were to stop what you're doing right now, that night will live on far after on that network till, forever.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's pretty awesome to know. Did you guys, I guess, after the fact, you went back and watched it on the network and everything to see how it looked, how they broadcast and everything? And
So I actually couldn't watch it until like the following Monday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had usually Evolve does like a loop weekend. So
Yeah.
From Philly, we actually had to go right to Massachusetts for another show.
Okay.
And at the time, I didn't have like a network on my phone, so
Right,
I just kinda
right,
had
yeah.
to like get through the weekend, and then I finally got to sit home on my couch and like actually watch it and absorb it.
Yeah.
It's pretty surreal. I know being there, it didn't really. I was in a way trying not to overthink it, so I was trying not to tell myself like all the people that will probably be watching.
Right.
And then right before me and Eddie Kingston went out for our match, he grabbed me and pulled me aside and was like, "Joe, you need to like take a second and like live this and like
Yeah.
look around and see this, like, and feel
Take it
it."
in. Take it in. Yeah.
Take it in, because he said he's done a lot of things that he didn't do that, and he
Mhm.
kind of regrets not living in that moment. So
Yeah, absolutely. Good advice.
Yeah,
How did you get hooked up with Eddie as a tag team partner? How did that? Did they put you together, or are you buddies with him?
pure luck, which worked out amazingly. Me and him have like insane chemistry, and we
Yeah,
get along
for sure, yeah.
amazingly. I call him one of my very close friends now, to be honest.
Awesome.
So I started in Evolve, and this was before I signed any contract. Kind of just I guess at the time Gabe liked me, but he was still trying to figure some stuff out. He had a lot of plot threads running still, so I was kind of just getting thrown in this and that. And then I guess it was a show in Queens, New York. Eddie Kingston came to Evolve for the first time.
Right.
Did this angle where he did a run-in on the Street Profits. And then I don't know if it was before this or after this, but they had the idea of doing a group of guys that Evolve never wanted.
Okay.
So Gabe, for some reason, took a liking to me at the time, and decided to put me with Eddie and a couple other guys. And apparently Eddie was all about it. So
Right.
we
Awesome.
came together and tried to make something out of nothing at the time, and formed the group known as the Unwanted.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's like, and the fact that Gabe's are. How do you like working for Gabe or with Evolve? Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Honestly, one of the most positive experiences I've ever had in wrestling.
Wow.
I've been taken care of there way more than I could say for a lot of other companies.
No, I hear you. Yeah, no, I can imagine. Now, you guys, I haven't checked the schedule, but does Gabe run the arena in Philly? Are there any on the dates on the horizon in Philly for Evolve?
So I can't. There's nothing in the schedule yet, so I
Yeah.
can't guarantee anything. But
Yeah.
I will say I know
talking about it.
This past July, the anniversary show, and the summer before that, I think it was June or July, they ran in Philly. So
Yeah,
I'm maybe assuming or hoping that maybe this summer we'll have a date there. I don't know.
absolutely. And if you do, I will definitely be there.
Awesome.
And sad to say, not to change the mood around here, but I know one person who would have been there, but unfortunately is not with us anymore. Our mutual friend, the legendary, one of the best wrestling fan of all time, Kevin Hogan. How can you? Yeah, of course. R.I.P. Kevin Hogan. I'm sure he's watching. I'm sure he's watching this right now somewhere.
Of course. He always challenged me to a Muffin Street fight every other week.
Yeah. He brought the muffins and always a smile too, and we miss him. So, Kevin Hogan, shout out to Kevin. Big Josh, how you doing over there? I'm sorry for yelling at you. I really apologize.
You're mean. I'm telling my mommy.
You're not leaving the show, are you?
No, I'm not leaving a damn show. I'm your co-host. Who would you have the co-host? What? There's what? A doggy, maybe?
Yeah, maybe Eddie Mozart. Yeah, there's Eddie. Congratulations to Joe. I believe you're recently married, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Unbelievable, man. It's crazy. That's awesome.
Thank you. My wife is actually on the couch a couple feet from me right now listening to our conversation.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, that is awesome. And I mean, it's crazy how life is, and it's a lot of things going good for you right now. I'm really happy for you, man.
Thank you. I've been through a lot in my life and wrestling career, and I would say this is the happiest I've ever been professionally.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
I noticed that your brother. You still keep in contact with your brother, Phil?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I noticed that he's a realtor now.
He is, which is funny because him and my wife just became a realtor.
Oh, awesome!
Not in the same office, but they're both realtors.
Yeah. I just thought of it before the show. I made like bullet points of shit to talk about, and as I was putting Phil's bullet point on there, I thought of something. I got a text. I thought of something that he can use for his realtor marketing core. He can say, 5 years ago, I was selling headlocks, and now I'm selling homes. Money. Put that on T-shirts, Big Josh.
Yeah.
5 years ago, we selling hella. He's right. No,
that'll make money.
Yeah. I mean, don't most pro wrestlers retire into being realtors?
Basically, it's either realtors or
work on a school board
or trainer.
Personal trainers or carnival workers. So
I'd
end up working a carnival, definitely. Yeah.
I'll work a flea market.
Yeah, work flea markets, Big Josh. Anyway, so Big Josh, you have any more questions for Mr. GACY before we wrap it up here today?
I just gotta say two things. One, you gotta look like a mix between Braun Strowman with the beard and Kevin Owens. And which, by the way, you're better than those two guys.
Well, I get Kevin Owens pretty often, actually. If my hair was shorter, I probably would be pretty close, I guess.
Yeah, because I saw a couple of matches, and I tell you, you're a lot more talented than most of the damn roster today in WWE. As I say, you're awesome.
Well, I appreciate that.
Now, this is coming from somebody who hadn't seen your work before I told him you were going to be on the show. So you kind of YouTube, right?
Yeah, definitely. I got to do my homework. I'm like Bobby Heenan of journalism.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you for that nice compliment, Big Josh, to our guest. Yeah, absolutely. Joe, what are you listening to these days? What music are you into? I'm curious.
Oh, man.
What's Joe listening? What's Joe GACY listening to in 2020?
A lot of different stuff, to be honest. I change monthly, honestly, like what I listen to.
Yeah.
Realistically, I like pretty much everything except like country music.
Yeah, I'm with you on that for sure. Sorry, Josh.
I would say in the last couple of days, for some reason, I've been listening to the band Say Anything a lot lately.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. I go in, like, I don't know what you call it, waves, or just I get hooked on a sound or a band, and then we'll what's going on here with the camera?
What is happening?
What kind of show is this?
Look, see that picture?
Yeah. What about it?
What? Okay, that's the only person I ever liked in country music's Leanne Rimes.
Was that held up by Scotch tape?
Yep.
That was
It's so fun. I printed it off my sister's printer like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
It's a good shape then. Jeez.
Big Josh, tell Joe a rock singer that's going to be on the show in a couple weeks. That's used to work for TNA Impact Wrestling. What's her name?
Oh yeah, Goldilocks.
Goldilocks. Yeah, she's going to be on the show, and she's going to help you out with some dating advice or something like that, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Hopefully, I get a date out sooner or later.
Yeah, we'll see.
Don't give up.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Joe, do you have any advice for Big Josh? I mean, you landed a beautiful bride. Do you have any dating? This is like an ongoing theme of the show every week. Do you have any dating advice for Big Josh? Should he get on Tinder? Should he get on Match.com? Should he just go out in the middle of the street, strip naked, and shake what his mama gave? What should Big Josh do? What tips do you have?
I guess,
because you obviously it was working out for you.
Any tips I would say, I guess, would be don't be afraid to go talk to people.
Right. Have confidence.
Have confidence. Don't over bug somebody. I don't know if that's a word. That's a term.
Yeah. Don't be overly clingy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't depend on dating apps. But if you were going to use any, oddly enough, in a way, me and my wife met on Plenty of Fish. So.
Oh, sweet.
That's a success story in that way, I guess. But we also kind of knew of each other before that, so it was a whole path that led to each other.
Good deal, brother. Well, Josh, before we wrap it up with Joe here today, I just want to say thanks, Joe, for stopping by the show.
Of course, awesome. Thank you for having me. Very fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you guys don't know, now before we get out of here, obviously I want you to plug your social media, Joe. So anybody watching that's not familiar with Joe, that doesn't follow him already on Twitter or Instagram, how can they find you online, Joe?
I'm actually pretty easy to find. On Twitter, I'm just at Joe GACY, JoeGacy. Instagram is at Joe_Gacy. And I also have a Facebook, although I believe I'm at my friends limit, so that might be a little bit more difficult. I should probably put more time into my actual page, my Joe GACY page, rather than my profile. So maybe that's a goal for this year.
And speaking of that, I think you tweeted recently that you're going overseas or some kind of tour coming up, right?
I am. It's not a full tour. It's going to be for a couple days. I'm actually making my debut for a company over there called WXW, which I'm very excited about. I've been trying to get there for a couple of years also. I'm going over there representing CZW, defending my CZW title against Anthony Green, which we have yet to actually have a one-on-one match. So I'm super excited. And we're stopping. We're going to be in the UK for a day. I'm not officially on any shows yet, but I know I'm trying to get on something. So we'll see. And there's a chance I might also be doing a show for WXW. It's their big weekend called 16 Carat. Okay. It's like a big tournament they do every year. I, as far as I know, won't be in the tournament, probably won't be in the tournament, but there's a chance that actually me and Eddie Kingston might be having a tag match at some point during the weekend. So hoping for that.
All right, brother. Thanks again for being on the show. This has been awesome. We had a great talk. Any last words for Mr. GACY, Big Josh? You wanna?
Well, just say it's honored talking with you tonight, and yes, I'm still intimidated by the nose ring. but I know it's been great talking with you, and thanks for coming on.
You too. Thank you for having me.
Joe, thanks a lot, man. We got to do this again real soon. I really appreciate it.
Just say the word. Thank you.
All right, peace. Big Josh, you got to do the take-up. Take us out now. Take us out. Take us home. Do the whole gimmick. Do the gimmick that you do.
Okay. Catch you on the wrestling flip side, everybody. Deuces.
There it is. Cheers, guys. Later.